What's going on, y'all? It's your boy DJ D Wiz.
Yo, I'm DJ Marcus Moolah, aka Moolah Go Great.
Yo, what it is? It's your boy DJ Key Prado.
Alright, what it do, man? It's your boy J-Way.
Hey, it's your girl, Nikki Lynn.
Underground hitters. Underground hitters.
It's good to have you back, Nikki. It's good to see you.
But y'all came to me. So
Yeah,
we're
we
in
did, we
Indianapolis
did.
tonight, people.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we live and
right.
direct from Nap Town.
Live and direct.
Man, and it's
Yeah.
surreal because we're in Stone Tree.
Yes.
You know, if people don't know, this is where I met my first artist here at Stone Tree. So
Yeah.
it's just a surreal moment to finally be back after what, like 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
More
here.
than that, yeah.
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And
Two and a
here
half.
But oh, it seemed like a year. Alright, shout out Lil Wayne.
we're down 2 people. We have Moolah. Moolah's checking in. He
Shout
is
out
in
Moolah.
Atlanta. Wiz just got back from his little birthday vacation. He
Shout
was
out
Yeah, he was from he was going down what's that?
Universal
Orlando.
Studios.
Orlando, Florida. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was doing some stuff like that. But we have a special guest in the building. I've been waiting since I met her. Been
Oh,
waiting
man.
to get her on.
She's all the way from London. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm about to say, for real?
No, just kidding.
We have our girl here, Bri Lindeman.
What up, what up?
Man,
What's up, Bree?
I always think of that song. You know, every time it makes me laugh for some reason. I don't know.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Bree, what is going on? What's new?
Not much, just been working on music, you know, anything I can to grind things out and
Yeah.
just keep progressing.
Absolutely. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You know, we've heard you in the hallways singing forever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
and we finally get a single.
Exactly.
Finally.
I know,
Right.
it took forever. It took
And
forever.
I'm telling you.
I sat on that song for a minute.
Yeah, long
Oh, okay,
overdue.
okay.
Long
Yeah.
overdue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us what took so long to release a single.
Essentially what the single's about, right? Just anxiety, doubt, a little bit of fear. Sometimes things in your life hold you back
Yeah.
that you just have to get over. So at some point I just got to a point where I had enough and I was just like, I just need to put this out and get going because I'm holding my career back.
Right.
So
Alright.
Right.
Because, you know, no matter how great you are, people are still going to hate regardless.
yeah, 100%.
You know, so they're going to always find something bad about it.
Yeah.
So why not just put yourself out there? What do you have to lose?
Nothing at all.
There you go.
I'm going to let you start. You know, I've talked forever, but go ahead, Keys. My little brother.
all right. So, Bree, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Man, so how did you get your start in music?
Man, that's the question, huh?
Yeah.
So started when I was a kid.
Okay.
I actually started out dancing, which I didn't know until
Choreography,
recently.
okay.
Yeah, something like that. More like breakdancing, trying to.
Okay. That's real cool.
But I just remember, you know, hearing the radio as a kid, and then I watched a lot of American Idol, and then I would hear songs that I heard on the radio,
Okay.
and I just found that I loved singing along with it. And so that just kind of, it all started there, and then I got this opportunity here at Stone Tree at some point, and things just kind of lined up. I got caught in like the wildfires in Oregon, and it took me out to Vegas, where it was the first time I recorded anybody, and that's when I realized maybe I can do this. Maybe I can, you know, write music and record it. And then, like I said, a week later, I got my opportunity at Stone Tree, and everything just blossomed from there.
That's what's
Okay,
up.
cool. That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up.
So I know you're working on being an engineer as well.
Yes.
How is that going? Like, do you like that part of it? Like
I
the
love
engineering portion?
I love it. I honestly didn't think that I would have such a passion for it, but now it's to the point where I'm like, I love this just as much as being an artist. And there's not enough like females out here, you know, engineering, and I want to see more of it.
Right.
Like I just love engineering, every aspect of it, because you get a whole new second appreciation for music, right? Like,
Right,
you
but that's an
understand it in a
artistry
different
itself
way. Yeah.
too, because you have to have the ear to hear
Absolutely.
those different things that may not be, you know, you have to make the music great. And
Yeah.
an engineer is what makes the music great.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I sit there for hours. The last weekend, I spent 7 hours recording and mixing.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
All
with my
right.
Oh,
mentor.
wow.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
I'm working hard.
Did you
every
just
day.
you got stuck,
Yeah.
you got zoned in,
Yeah.
and it was it?
I'm just like really working hard. I want to be an engineer here at Stone Tree, so I'm putting all my extra time into it because I know what I want. So
That's what's up.
Okay.
That's what's up. Can you read music? Do you have any
No.
theory under your belt?
I have very little theory. So I can play a little bit guitar.
Okay.
I never
Okay.
took choir in school. I took it 1 year in school.
Okay.
And I wish I would have, because then I would have understood theory a little bit more.
Yeah.
But no, I need to learn for sure. But I know a little bit.
Okay, yeah, because theory is kind of like complicated. I took theory in school, so
Yeah. I'm trying to learn as I go.
I did band in school, so it was like you had to learn how to read music to do band.
See, I wish I would have learned how to play the violin. I really wish I would have.
That's the main instrument everybody want to play. That and the drum.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But
I
the
played
funny,
trombone.
but like in this day
Second shift.
and age that we're in now,
Yeah.
you don't really have to know how to read music because now the computer can read. You can just put in keys.
Yep.
Oh, I think I like this key, and you can just it programs itself.
Right.
Yeah, that's the. You're right.
That's
You hit
the
nail
beautiful
on it.
part of it.
Absolutely.
See, it's a beautiful part, but another thing with certain things like that is you have to ask, like, how far are we taken away from, you know, natural things of music? Now anybody can be an artist because we got all these tools
Right.
Yeah.
online to
Absolutely.
make anybody sound great. So
Yes.
where's the real art lie?
Oh.
But
I'm
you
so
still
glad
need to
you
have
said
some
that.
talent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you still have to have the talent behind it because
Right.
an engineer can only do so much with your voice.
Right.
I mean, unless you know, I mean, are you hand mixing the voices? Because you know how you can change every single note
Yeah, every
to
note.
perfect it.
I don't. You definitely can. I know some people who do, you know, use things like Melodyne or, you know. If I use autotune, I don't go through every note, but you know, you can't make somebody sound pretty good with autotune. But if you
Yeah.
can't flow, you can't flow. You know.
Yeah, because I've
And
been
you
in
can't really fix that.
I've been in a studio in Denver, and they actually changed every single note. All her sharp notes they
Wow.
smoothed out. You know, they made her deep notes sound really good. I mean, it was just
Right.
from where she recorded and what I heard, I was like, this sounds like a totally different person.
Wow.
And they can
That's
do that,
wild.
which the only bad part is an engineer can also make it hard for you to perform
I
live.
was just about to say
That
that.
is very true. That is
Because you
very
gotta
true.
do that live.
Yeah, wouldn't it be because all the sharps and flats are gonna come out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
But what a lot of people do is they have behind the track.
yeah.
Yeah.
They'll play the track and
Right.
they'll just kind of
Yep.
because we saw that at a couple of artists showcases.
we did.
and stuff.
Wow.
We did.
Oh
Yeah.
man, the mic ain't working. Nah, you just can't sing that.
The cool thing
Why do you
is,
look like that?
with most of the engineers that I've worked with, they won't let me record something that I can't do
Okay.
because they have that in mind. So I feel like a good engineer, you know, kind of has that in mind of like, I want you to be able to perform this. Like if you're an artist, you got to be able to do this in person too.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't just, you know, never perform.
Right.
Or like what happens if you do perform and then,
Right.
you know, everybody's just like, whoa.
That's why it's hard when they want to pop in because then it's like you can't keep that same flow.
Right.
The reason that you had to stop was because you ran out of breath or something happened. So it needs to be more of a natural. It's almost better if they re-recorded the whole
Yeah.
thing that they
Yeah.
wanted to do to make sure they can do it.
Now
Like,
you're talking about breathing control and endurance.
yeah, but some engineers are like, okay, I'll put you in,
Right.
I'll punch you in right
It's
there,
also a
and then.
style
Right,
though.
right.
Some
But
people like to punch in
Yeah.
as a stylistic choice.
But then when they get, so we see a lot of live performances. So then when they get on stage, they can't duplicate
They
that.
can't.
Yeah.
You
That's a
know,
good
so
point.
then they let the track go, and while they're taking their breaths, and the track is still
Or
playing.
Or they're taking a smoke break.
Yeah.
Or
So
they depend on the crowd.
Yeah.
so you know,
Shut
all
the
those
lyrics.
little punch-ins can actually be detrimental because
Right.
you don't have the stamina
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
100%.
Man.
What do you
Yeah.
got?
So listen, Bri, you talked about the anxiety of releasing your song and everything. Have you ever dealt with that anxiety?
Yeah,
You know?
so growing up, I had really bad social anxiety. As I got older, I thought that I had gotten over it, but I realized that I had just isolated myself.
Oh.
In the time that I did isolate myself,
Mhm.
all I would do was sing and take videos of me singing
Okay.
until my ear could hear, you know, what I'm doing right. That's why you'll hear me sing all the time.
Okay.
It's like constantly playing in my head. So I think during that time, you know, I sang a lot and it really impacted my voice. But at some point I realized like, wow, I'm not over my anxiety. I'm just scared to go outside. You know what I mean? And so as I got older, you know, around this time now, it's more so a very high functioning anxiety. It's not necessarily social, but very, you know, self-doubt sometimes, which is a
Okay.
real thing.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
But I try to push myself regardless because, you know, sometimes our minds come up with things that aren't necessarily true.
That's true.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know, I think it is true when people say like we are our own competition. You know, we are the only reason why we fail is because of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, failure isn't based on other people's opinions.
Right.
Right.
failure is based on if we actually keep falling and do we get back up?
Yeah.
Do we
Yeah.
do we keep striving to be better?
I had to keep just making, songs. And it's so funny because beginning of June, I had the song ready. Everything was ready. I just took forever to do my photos for the song. And everybody's like, what's taking you forever? Why are you... And I'll be honest, with a lot of things, it helped my love for things like engineering or just music in general develop naturally.
Right.
I feel like if I would have rushed engineering, I wouldn't have came to love it myself.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It took me sitting in Studio B, not knowing what I'm doing, recording songs over YouTube beats a million times to at some point finally be like, okay, maybe I'll mess around with, engineering a little bit. And then I found that I loved it.
Yeah.
So,
That's what's up.
Okay. So how long, like on average, how long does it take you to put a song together?
ooh, that's a great question. Some of my more like, I have this habit of recording songs and then taking a while to come back to them, which I don't recommend because when you do that, sometimes you lose the feel.
Yeah.
And then you go a couple months by and you're like, dang, I write better than this now. And now you just lost this piece that you really felt, and it was a good song for that time, but now you feel like you're past that. So now you don't get to give that to the world.
Right.
So I try not to do that anymore. Sometimes I'll make it in a night, but it'll take me a couple hours because I like to perfect it. I'll keep re-singing it. I know what I want my tone to sound like. I know how I want to deliver it. And I know that I want you to feel what I'm saying because I'm saying what I feel. So.
Okay.
That's what's up.
You know, you said something, and it's funny because I even told an artist this recently. When you're going through something, the best thing to do is write.
Yeah.
But finish it. Because the most real that you ever be is in that moment, in that emotion. And so, like you were saying, if you do go back, you don't have that same feeling.
Yeah.
You might have, that emotion might have passed. It's a momentary feeling.
Right.
So, I commend you for being able to sit down and just write it out now.
Right.
Because it's really hard to, like, people think, like, because you're getting emotional, you're crying or you're upset, and they never want to finish it because it stirs up something. It's like, but that's what music is supposed to do.
Exactly.
It's supposed to stir something.
Yeah, and I have a song, it's called In Love. It's not released yet. But it was the first song that I was like, I'm going to release this. This is going to be like, my first thing. And people really liked it that I showed it to. And there's a lot of feel in it, but I've tried recreating it and I can't. And I just won't touch the song till it comes back.
Okay.
And I think it's okay to leave some things at a certain point and come back to them when it feels right, because I would rather give you a product that you feel and you can relate with and fully be encapsulated by what I'm trying to say to you than to just throw this out there because it was good at a time and I could just refabricate it.
Okay.
It's super easy.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that's just not worth it to me. Like, I want you to feel what's coming through my soul, because I don't feel like I'm being felt if you don't really feel it in your soul, or like, you know what I mean? If you can't listen to something and be like, dang, like this applies to me in some way, or like she really, So sometimes people say to me when I sing, "Who hurt you? You sound like you've been hurt. Who hurt you?" I'm singing for my soul, and I don't want to give you something that's not that, So I'd rather wait.
That's what's
And a
up.
lot of great
That's what's
songs
up.
come from pain.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired of pain rap. I'm tired of pain
I'm
rap.
done with that.
Yeah, we done with that.
But it's
Been
different
done
when
with that.
somebody's singing and there's pain.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
we all have, I know when I was growing up, there was always a choice song. Like, I'm hurting, so I need to hear this song. And I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
need to hear it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a song about pain. You might be feeling pain, but maybe I'm singing something. Maybe I'm feeling pain in this song, but I'm singing about beating that pain, or something else, and you still feel it in that moment. It's just whatever feeling it is, I have to be feeling it when I write that song, because I can't deliver a product that's not genuine.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why
Yeah.
so many people cry in church during the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
You
portion,
feel-
because you're just feeling it.
Yeah, you
It's
feel
I've
just,
it.
cried in church. I have
it's
cried
just
in
all the
church
emotions that
many
come up,
times.
you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So speaking, since we're on the topic of feelings and crying, when was the last time you had a good cry?
Oh, a good cry. That's a good question.
A good cry.
Good
Ooh.
one. Yeah.
Man, I'm not sure. Probably about 2 weeks ago. Maybe.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
recent. What?
I don't know. I don't like to hold back my tears. If I gotta cry, I'm gonna let it out now instead of letting it hinder me later.
Do you
know
get
what
do
I mean?
the ugly cry though? Do you get
I don't think I'm an ugly crier.
I'm talking about the ugly cry where you could barely breathe,
Oh.
where you have the hiccups in your voice and you're just
Mm, Okay, not hiccups, but a little bit of an ugly cry. Look, if I'm gonna let it out, I'm gonna let it out.
That's good that you let it out because it's bad to bottle that in.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, 'cause that's stress.
Yeah. And what do I look like hindering myself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's not worth it. I'd rather let it out now, deal with it now, and move about my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta. I feel like you have to be on a certain mindset, otherwise you're hindering yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
who cares if you cry? Everybody cries.
And that's a part of healing too. You feel better, like
Well,
you just.
you do, but men do have a problem with crying.
Yeah.
Some men.
Some men do. Yeah, like for me, like I don't cry in public. I'll do it privately.
Right.
Yeah, that's like me too. I do it privately.
Yeah,
in the dark.
and even then it's filtered. Like I don't let it come out all the way.
See, I cry when I'm really upset.
Yeah.
Like if you really get me mad, people always think like, oh, she's a sissy. I'm like, no, this is like the part you should be walking away.
Yeah.
Cause,
Oh yeah.
Because now I'm already upset, and now I'm upset that you see me crying too.
Yeah.
Now I'm like double upset, and then I'm crying even more.
Right.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious though. So you said like even when you're alone, you don't fully let it out. Why?
I
You
just
don't have an explanation?
I don't.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
Maybe
I
you
do.
maybe have a
I
wall
do.
up. Maybe you need to break through that.
Yeah.
That's
I probably do, but I just don't fully cry like that.
You
I
need-
don't cry, but
you need some take me to the king and just sit in your room.
I've had like cried to some gospel before though. I have done that.
You know,
I
and
have
just-
done that. But yeah, I don't let
You
it
telling
out.
me you never listened to Your Spirit by Tasha Cobbs and cried?
I do listen to Tasha Cobbs, but I've never cried on that song.
That song, ooh,
Never.
because there's a part, I remember being in church, there's a part of that song where you think it's over, and then they just overwhelm you
Yeah.
with everything, and
That's-
it's just like,
Yeah.
whew.
That's worship.
Yeah, oh yeah, I
That's
love
worship.
worship. I grew up on worship. It plays a big part in my vocals, in my life.
That's what's up.
So I
That
feel
song, yes.
Yeah.
You know,
I know
gosh,
it.
it's that choir that sings it. That
The-
yes
the-
song gets me every time.
this
Shekinah
is-
Glory.
Shekinah Glory, yeah.
Ugh, that
I
gets
don't
me
know if I've
every
heard that song.
every time.
You gotta check it out.
If you listen to the live recording, she was going on last. My husband was actually there at this recording,
Yep.
and everybody was leaving, and she just started singing yes. You know, she
Yeah.
just started
Oh,
singing
wow.
it, and then all of a sudden it just goes into this big triumphant thing,
Man.
and everybody started walking back in because they were like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
You know, but you have to hear it. It's one of those ones that make you cry because it's saying that my soul says yes. You know,
Yeah.
like.
And it's that overwhelming feeling, and that's where I try to make my music come from.
Yeah.
Because if it's translating what you feel, right?
Mhm.
And that's what gospel and just worship in general does really well.
Yeah.
Really, really well. And that's what I love about it. Literally the other day I was listening to, you ever heard of Love 'Em Like I Do?
Yep.
By Dietrich Haddon?
I have.
Oh, I was messing up.
Oh,
the-
you know your gospel.
I'm telling you, I was in a gospel choir. That's the only really like choir I was in.
Okay.
But we didn't read music or anything. But that song, like, whew, I
Yep.
used to get down to that song.
But you're right though. It does translate. It just, you know, and I think it's because everybody knows what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like your music has to be relatable because
Yeah.
people have to know where you're coming from. And I think
Yeah.
that's what gospel does very well.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
we all know what it feels like to be down. We all know what it feels like to be hurt.
Yeah.
We all know what it feels like to be on our knees like, God, just make whatever this is stop.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You have to experience God for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
In order to get to that point.
Yeah.
You gotta experience Him. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you down on your luck, your back is against the wall, and He come through in the clutch.
I can't wear makeup to church.
Oh,
I can't do it all over my face because I'm just one of those people. I'm moved by that. Like I'm
Yeah.
moved, you know. It's and that's what some music does for me, where it just like refreshes your soul, and you're just like, man, I just needed that. Like
Right.
it feels like somebody's just working on your soul, working on your heart,
Yeah.
mending it, and you're like, I just needed that moment.
yeah.
It's a weight off your shoulders, like a burden lifted.
Yeah.
Like you feel refreshed in some ways.
And you know, like everybody with you in church is like they're all going through the same thing. We're all feeling that same emotion.
Right.
I think that's what's so special about it.
Bree, since you know your gospel and everything, that means you know God. You ever experienced God personally?
Yeah, I experienced God in a lot of different ways. I used to be. Things are a little bit different now, but I think that sometimes relationships change, and I still have a relationship with God. It just looks different.
Okay.
So one thing I really enjoy is spirituality.
Okay.
You know, kind of the things that come with that, meditating, stuff like that. I'm just now starting to meditate, but
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, I've definitely experienced God. You know, I've been in church with my hands up, crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing. Like, even though my relationship with God might not be the same, I will always feel gospel the same.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I feel like God might look different for everybody else. You know, or for every person, God might look different, but
Yeah.
you know, it feels the same.
Yeah, like why does there have to be a label put on Christianity though? Like,
Yeah.
why does it have to? Like, I don't feel like I have to go to church every Sunday to have a relationship with God.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't feel like I have to. But I still talk to him.
Yeah.
I still read. I still study. I still do all those things. But it doesn't require me going to a building.
Yeah. Well, church is wherever
Every
the
week.
Father is spoken about, right?
Yeah.
And to
I was
to
just
remove-
about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we're talking about God right now. This is church.
Right, and that's
She
but
know
that's
her word.
but that's where the original church was set up. They went house to house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there was
Yeah.
never a building. You
Oh,
know,
Yeah.
it's just it's
We are the church. All his children, all the believers, and everything. Us.
Yeah. Where
Yeah.
2 or 3 are gathered,
Yeah.
but
they will
I
show up.
but I
you
hate
know?
when people judge your relationship with God based on how many times you
go to
attend
church,
Oh,
and
yeah.
how long you stay and how many functions you go
That's
to.
those uppity people, man. That's those people that the people who don't have a relationship. That's why they don't come to church like that, because of people like them.
Oh yeah, and you know, there's churches out there that you know they're great and they aren't cliquey. Or, you know, they
Yeah,
try not to
yeah.
be. But for me personally, the way that I see it is I can't be too involved because you know the word even says people are gonna act in their flesh and everything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
some people are gonna make it cliquey. Some people are, whether they like it or not, or you know, like a look at me type of thing.
Right.
So I think it's good to go to church as much as you want, but for me, I don't like to get too involved in the church anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I can get involved, but just not too
You
much.
choose not to.
Yeah, because it's interesting, as my relationship with God changed, it was something that hindered me a lot too. I was scared to be who I was and to, you know, express myself in certain ways because I was scared of what the people
Would say.
who were in
yeah.
the church would say.
Yeah.
And I still deal with
Man.
this sometimes. But I've gotten more comfortable. I feel closer to God than ever. I feel more me than ever. I feel more loved by God than ever because I'm me.
That's messed up. You
So-
felt that way.
So you don't have like a church home, do you?
I did. I did.
You
There,
did.
There's nothing wrong with it. I would love to go back.
Okay.
They're actually a great church on the west side of Indy.
Okay.
They're called the Blended Church. Shout out. Love that place. Love
Alright.
that place. You sing up on that stage and you see all different types of people. You know, they accept anyone because those people are just really genuine. It's just, you know, I'm still figuring out, you know, how I want to go about my relationship with God. Just
Yeah,
really like
yeah.
learning myself, you know, with God.
Is there
You know?
is there any fears about going back into the church that you would like to speak about? Because I know for me, my biggest was like when I started getting more and more tattoos, people would be like, and then you have short hair, and then you know it's like all those things that
Right.
come with it, and people are always looking at you.
You know, if you would have asked me a couple months ago, probably yes. But now, I know who I am. I know that my relationship with God is real, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to say my old relationship with God was fabricated, but you know, there was still something there that I was just doing because I had to. I'm not doing that anymore. So
Yeah.
so I don't feel any type of I guess like hesitation or anything because now I'm truly going to church for God if I go.
Okay.
know?
Right?
Okay.
It's like
Just me
it's
and
almost
God.
like when your parents take you, and you just have to
Yeah.
go because
Like
your
you
parents are
gotta go
taking
because they going, you know.
Right.
and it is a Sunday thing, and
Right.
I really don't like that judgmental people. They judging you because you got tattoos. They judging you because of whatever. Stop that.
But
man.
they do. But people are just like, because people are, like you said, people are still going to be people, and you're still going to act upon flesh and what you think is right.
It's
And
inevitable.
and a lot of what I've noticed, like in the years, what I didn't like about church is that a lot of pastors will twist words to make it work for what they want to happen. You know, or what
Yeah,
their
Like
beliefs
finesse,
are.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't believe I'm going to hell because I wear pants to church. I just don't.
See, we
I
gotta
don't
stop
believe.
that.
I don't
We gotta
believe.
stop that.
I don't believe
Stop.
because my hair is short that I lost my crown.
We gotta stop
Right.
that.
Yeah.
You gotta be
Hey,
really
look, come
careful.
as you are. Come as you are.
Yep. That's what my church, my old home church, used to always preach. And the thing is like, it's inevitable. People are gonna do it anyway. I had somebody shade my sister who goes to church all the time on Facebook the other day. It's gonna happen, but I feel like, at least for me and my point with God, I understand that the external factors don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It's just me and you. Whatever anybody else is doing with their relationship with him that they think is just, whatever. But I know what God looks like for me. I know what God feels like for me.
Yeah.
And I know the type of person I want to be.
And he doesn't see our flesh. He sees our soul.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't see any of the things that people see. He knows us to our core,
But
and that's
a lot of
different.
people have those like certain beliefs that are like from the past and everything.
Yeah.
And they're living off of that, and they're trying to like put that on the younger generation.
Yeah, like where there are some churches that don't even allow women to sit on the front rows.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they don't.
I didn't know that.
At least
I know they
down
don't.
south.
They don't
Down
let
south.
female pastors at some
Yeah,
churches.
there's some churches that don't let females preach.
Well,
That's
there's
wild to me.
it's there's certain word that backs that, but it doesn't mean that a woman can't hold a conference. A woman can't, be a guest speaker. A woman
Right.
can't, there's
An evangelist.
right.
What they call them.
There's
Yeah,
just,
an evangelist.
but I think there's a place for everybody, and I think people forget that. We're in this dominated society, and it's this male-dominated society, and it's like, man, even in church where law doesn't apply, it
Yeah.
shouldn't
Right.
be that way.
It shouldn't, but unfortunately, it is. It's crazy.
I went to a church not too long ago where they took up 6 offerings, and I'm like, come on, like I can't.
6 offerings.
No, I'm serious.
Hey, look, check this out.
You're laughing, but I'm
Check this
so
out.
serious.
Church is a business.
Church is a bit.
It's a business.
Church is a
You're not
business
wrong.
now.
Yeah, it's a business.
It
It's
is
a
a
business.
business now,
You're not wrong.
unfortunately. It ain't about God. It's not about spirituality. It's about coins. With some churches. Not all. Some churches.
Well, people sometimes base, just like in life, people like, if the pastor doesn't have a big house, a big car, wears fancy watches and suits, and he's not successful, like God is not blessing him. And that's not true.
Exactly.
But that's the
Right.
way they see it, and they see it in a secular mindset.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, man, our riches are spiritual anyway. We're waiting to get that when we get to the other side,
Right.
But I want to get into her first single
Oh yeah.
because y'all holding
yeah.
me back from hearing this song.
Man.
Y'all
Go ahead and introduce the next single, the first single to us.
Alrighty. This song is called "Holding Me Back,"
Okay.
and
Put me back.
just listen to the lyrics.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right.
Let's get into it.
Holding me back right here on Underground Hitters Radio. Let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
get it.
Oh. Sorry. My bad. It was playing with me for a second.
I was like, what's happening?
Yes, yeah.
Man, you are the first person that actually knows word
Yeah.
that we've talked to.
Man, I was enjoying that.
That's my husband there. It's my husband James.
That was a live performance.
Yes. Yeah.
Live.
I gotta find this beat.
Okay.
You gotta find the beat.
Oh, go
I
ahead,
gotta
take your
grab
time.
this beat for y'all, and we will
Or,
get
or,
this.
or you can do it a cappella. No matter.
Yeah, or you can do it acapella, yeah. Yeah.
She probably likes the beat.
Okay.
Yeah, the beat's pretty dope.
Okay.
That producer did a really good job of capturing
Okay.
with sound
All right. All
and
right.
atmosphere.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a treat. Get ready for a treat.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
I'm excited about this. We've had freestyles, but we've never had anybody sing.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Go
this
grab
is
my bag.
Okay.
this is gonna be epic.
Stuff. Let me just try this extra
Oh,
stuff
man.
too.
It's a first for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some
Lots of
call-
firsts today.
Right. Exactly.
Growth.
Yeah. Absolutely. Y'all tune in so you can call in.
Yes.
Man.
Tune in so you can call in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we do have a lot of requests in
Hey,
right
plug
now.
them with the number. Plug them with the number.
No, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a link. I'm gonna post it on our Instagram.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So as soon as I go, I don't know what just happened.
Yes, indeed.
Funny stuff going on today.
Man.
It's okay. I'm looking.
Well, we did just get done giving the Lord some praise. So
Yeah.
And that's always meant to happen.
You see,
after.
y'all see how that works, right? Y'all see how that works.
The devil won't stop us.
hey,
There you go.
We got it.
I
We
ain't
said
got
it
no
was
applause.
church.
You better say that. She preaching over here.
Yeah. Reverend Bri.
Reverend Bri.
Right. You gotta say it like the old down south folk. Reverend Bri.
You coming up to the pulpit to the altar to bless you.
Yes.
Reverend Bri, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
Yes.
Thunderbolt of the Midwest.
Oh man.
Huh?
Yes
The
indeed.
Thunderbolt of the Midwest.
Oh yeah, Thunderbolt of the Midwest.
Yes indeed. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was telling them about that.
Oh yeah.
Yes indeed. Man.
We're just waiting for Bri to get this beat, and we're gonna get started.
Oh yeah.
You know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
While she does this, is there somebody we can?
Something keeps on holding me back. Yeah, don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna think about it all the time, all the time. Something keeps on holding me back. Yeah, don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna think about it all the time, all the time. Empathy. I'm drowning these feelings, yeah. Are you kidding me? Missing serenity, and I admit it, yeah, the little things that get to me. I just keep on being afraid. Something keeps on holding me back. Yeah, don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna think about it all the time, all the time. Something keeps on holding me back. Yeah, don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna think about it all the time, all the time. All the time, all the time, all the time. Lately I've been thinking, got a million reasons that makes it comfortable to stay. Cause something keeps on holding me back. Don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna think about it all the time. All the time. Cause something keeps on holding me back. Yeah. Don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna think about it all the time. All the time. Something keeps on holding me back. Yeah, don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna think about it all the time. All the time. Yeah, all the time. All the time.
Yay! That was.
Hey. Cut my mic off. Hey, look at here. Why you have to do that?
Man, what a great song.
Do that.
Did you tear up a little bit?
I always tell when I hear some good music. That was actually really good. That was really good.
That was phenomenal.
Like, man.
Everybody's in here like, that's what's up, and they're
Yeah.
clapping.
That's raw talent, man.
Hey, I appreciate it.
That's
So
raw talent.
I've always been nervous to perform, but I've been pushing myself more. So this is only the second time that I've really performed since like being a kid.
What?
So y'all got the real deal.
That's amazing.
Okay.
The real
Amazing.
deal.
Okay.
That's how y'all know I like y'all over here. Let me go.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's your second
Thank you
time.
guys.
That's
Since
what's
a
up.
kid?
That's what's
Wow.
up. That's what's up.
That's talent, people. That's talent. That's
Thank
talent.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, guys.
Wow.
Hey, so,
I don't even know what to tell you now.
man,
I'm kinda-
for real.
I'm kind of a wow. Go ahead, Bri.
What's up,
What's
Bree?
up, Bri?
Yeah.
Shoot.
I mean, I don't even know what to talk about now.
Right. You kind of messed
So
us up over there.
what inspired that song? What was the
Ooh,
inspiration
ain't
for that
the
song?
question?
Mm-hmm.
You know, multiple things.
Okay.
Right. So, you know, my anxiety, my self-doubt that I deal with sometimes, but you know, a specific person in my life, I realized that they were negative and they were hindering me in multiple different ways. And I started to come to terms with the fact that this person was, you know, causing a lot of things for my mental health that was making me hold myself back. And, you know, that's why I say certain things in the song, you know, empathy, I'm drowning in my feelings because, you know, I want to stick around because I care about this person.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I can't stay around because it's hindering my growth. It's hindering, you know, me as a person being able to shine as who I am. And so at some point, you know, I just kind of realized that I needed to get away from that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things.
But how hard was that? Because if you're an empathetic person and you care about people, you know, sometimes you don't want to leave because you don't want to hurt them
Yeah.
more than hurting yourself.
You know, it's funny because this person's still in my life in some ways because this person's not going to leave my life, which is okay. Just sometimes people grow at different rates than you, and I needed to get away because I needed my environment to be changed. You realize a lot of things when you change your surroundings. Then you're like, oh, I do
Absolutely.
this? I'm more like this person than I thought.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and I
Yeah.
don't have to be like this. This isn't normal. I'm
Right.
just used to this. So then once you come to terms with that, and then you keep growing and trying to, you know, understand yourself a little bit better and where you need to be in order for yourself to keep growing and for your life to keep moving forward, it becomes easier to deal with people like that because you understand that external factors don't have to be internal factors.
Man, you gotta always protect your peace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the importance of that until I, you know, got out of that. I mean, I say in the bridge of the song, lately I've been thinking, got a million reasons that makes it comfortable to stay.
Yeah.
It's hard to leave. It's always going to be hard to leave, but sometimes you got to do what's best for yourself.
Right.
And it's hard, but when you know certain things in your head, even though you might not do it right away, you still know it, so it's going to happen. And that's why things have unfolded in my path because even, let's use health for example, right? I am not healthy, y'all. I'm not healthy. I eat out all the time.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
but I've been knowing for a while, I'm like, I need to change the way I eat. I need to change the way I eat. So, you know, it's still there in my head. I might not be doing it right now,
Right.
but it's still there in my head. So here we are, fast forward to where I'm at now. I'm slowly actually making a change to that because, you know, the idea is there. And you know that in your head. Sometimes it just takes time and circumstances for you to act upon those things. So that's just what I kind of learned. Like, this song was a breakthrough for me in a lot of ways.
Okay. Ooh.
So tell us about. I have a person on live watching, and they asked what's up with your strange tattoo.
My strange tattoo? So first of all, it was one of those like Flash Friday type of. But he actually like designed it for me. I asked him to do that. I'm just me, you know? And sometimes people think that's weird. I say what I say. Sometimes I don't think twice about it, and that's just how I am. If I'm somebody who, you know, likes to say what comes to my mind. If I look at you and I'm like, dang, this person's attractive. Hey, you're attractive. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. Why wouldn't I say something that, you know, comes to my head that's nice? And so sometimes people are caught off guard by certain things like that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, certain things that I do. Sometimes I do things a certain way, and that's just how I do it. It might be weird, but that's how I do it. So I just kind of put it on my arm because I know that I'm different. there's nothing wrong with being different. We're all strange in our own ways, whether you're open about it or not.
Absolutely.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because it's almost empowering in a way, because now when people try to call me weird, I'm like, I got it tatted on my arm. You think I don't know? Like, you can't use that to hurt my feelings anymore.
We're all weird.
We're all weird.
Yeah.
You know?
In some kind of way, like you
Exactly.
said, in some way.
So, you know,
Yes.
I might not be, you know, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but, you know, we're all strange. We all got our weird things, weird quirks about ourselves, and I think it's okay to embrace those and to be honest about them. I wear it on my sleeve. Strange.
And we are who we are. You know,
Yeah,
we're just,
yeah,
Right.
definitely.
you know, I think a lot of people end up taking their lives because they don't feel like they can be who they are.
Exactly.
You know, in whatever capacity that is. And it's sad that they just don't feel accepted just being the natural them.
Right.
You know, all this stuff you see on Instagram and Facebook, all that can be fabricated.
It's fake.
Yeah.
You
oh,
know?
yeah.
And so, you know, when you come to really realize who these people are, you may not like them because they have to
Right.
fake just to feel acceptance, and that's sad.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing about social media. You know, people do live these fake lives on the internet,
Oh, yeah.
and then once you come back to your reality, it's like, well,
Yeah, and if I give you myself at surface value, you can't be mad at me. This is what I am. I'm giving you what I am. I'm telling you what I am. I'm showing you what I am. You take it or leave it. And one thing that I've come to learn in this journey of really understanding myself and being okay with my presence anywhere and owning that presence. One thing that I've learned is when you are comfortable being yourself, other people feel more comfortable being themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I've had someone tell me, they said, you just make everything seem normal. Because that's normal to me.
Yeah.
That's normal to me. I'm going to own it. I'm going to say it how I say it, and I'm going to mean it. And
you better
if
say
that's,
what you mean.
if that's what makes it normal, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you know, like, just be you. And that's the journey that I want to take people on with my music, too. Like, I'm still figuring myself out. I don't know myself. I'm 19. I'm only 19.
Well, I have
Oh,
a,
you
I-
young.
I do have a
Yeah.
question,
Yeah.
and since we're talking about like the real and fake,
Right.
Okay.
when people show you who they really are, though, how long does it take you to walk away?
Ooh, that's the question.
You know, because when they show you, you're supposed to be like, hey, well, that is who they are. But how
Yeah.
long does it take you to be like,
It depends for me. That's an area I'm really trying to grow in.
Yeah.
Nowadays, as I you know, get into this career, audio engineering, you know, being an artist, I've really found something that I genuinely can say I love with my whole heart. I've never loved anything like this.
Not even music?
Yeah,
Music, engineering, being an artist, singing, I've never loved anything like any of that ever in my life. And as I pursue that, I find this happiness that makes me have less time to deal with certain things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you bother me anymore. Or I'm not gonna stick around you. You showed me what you showed me. This doesn't have to be a whole dramatic thing. It doesn't have to be a falling out. It can be note taking in my head. I'm gonna be cordial. I'm gonna be kind. But I'm gonna keep moving on with my life
There you
and
go.
do what's gonna help me grow.
Say
Yeah.
your high and buys and leave it at that.
Exactly.
You ain't gotta talk. I'll be cordial with you.
Exactly.
That's as far as it goes.
It doesn't have to be a whole, you did this, or
Right.
you said, no, I already knew you said that. What is me saying it's you gonna do? It's not gonna change
Hey,
you.
that's a word right there. That's
That
a
is.
word.
Hey, look. Hey,
I'm very big on that.
Yes.
I
Hey,
don't, my voice, like, holds weight. It holds value.
I like that.
And I'm not going to waste my voice on somebody that doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
That's
why
fair.
give
fair.
it to you? Because once I give you my silence, that speaks louder than anything else.
I ain't gotta respond
I'm
to
glad
you.
you said that. I'm really glad
Yeah,
you said that.
and that's how I feel in my soul. My silence is more valuable because you want to hear me. You want me in your life.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to miss all these conversations that we had.
Absolutely.
You know, and
I
I
ain't gotta say nothing to you.
so why waste time having people be in your head for free, renting all this
Yeah,
space for free,
right.
not paying to be up there?
Right.
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 Ugh, it's
not
just
worth
it's
it.
overrated.
Exactly.
When you find that thing that you genuinely love and you're putting everything into it, those things don't matter.
They
don't
don't.
matter.
They don't.
And there's a million people in this world. I can find cool people to kick it with a million times over.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's even one I can find, you know, myself.
Oh yeah.
I love hanging out with myself.
As you should.
I'm in this place in my life where I don't need people
Yeah.
I enjoy chilling with myself.
I love that a lot.
I don't need, because there's times I don't even answer my phone. I don't reply to texts because I'm like, I'm just chilling with myself. I'm Netflixing and chilling with me.
That's peace
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That's peace.
You know what I've been doing that I recommend?
What's that?
Literally just sit outside. Don't touch your phone. Don't even bring your phone. Just sit outside, close your eyes, and like listen. And that's something like that. It helps with a lot of things. You know, it can help with your focus. It can help like focus on your breathing, breathe in and out. It's essentially meditating. But you know, I did that today, and I physically felt different when I got up. I felt insanely calm. I was feeling very overwhelmed. I have a lot, you know, going on. And I was just like, wow, this really like centered me. And then I noticed something beautiful about the trees, right? You know how the ocean has a sound?
Yeah.
Trees have a
The
sound.
trees do too.
Yes, they do.
And in some way, in my mind, I created poetry, which can translate into music and into song, which gave me ideas. Like sitting, just being with yourself, you think of things you wouldn't think of
Right.
when your mind is always occupied.
What's funny is my husband told me something that his grandmother told him, and I do this right before it rains. If you go outside before it rains, if you notice the leaves are lighter on the trees, it's because the leaves turn over to accept the rain. So the trees can tell you when it's about to rain because they're dark. Usually when you look at leaves, they're all dark, but right before it rains, they turn over and their light side is there because they want to feel the rain.
Wow,
And they
I
want to
didn't know
soak it
that.
up. So before it rains, I like to go outside and I like to look at the trees change because you could tell when it's about to rain.
That's cool.
Not only by smell, but by sight. Like you're saying, just sit there and just observe all the things in nature that's going around.
Right.
And so I do that. After he said that, I was like, man, it really does. That's why all the leaves look light sometimes and dark on other days.
Right. Me neither. That's kind of poetic.
You know?
I ain't never tried that, but I might try that one time.
They turn over to accept the rain, and people see rain as like such a bad thing, but rain is so cleansing. You
I
know?
love
You
rain.
gotta embrace the storm.
You do, and that's what I'm saying. Like
Embrace
the
the
rain
storm.
in your life is so cleansing.
Yeah, get showered, people. Get showered.
Get showered.
Yeah, when even the leaves want it, when they even know that I can be cleansed and replenished and all of that, like we should see the storms in our life the same way.
Yeah.
It's funny y'all are talking about rain. I always said the first tattoo that I got was going to be this quote I made like years ago, but it was called find the beauty in the rain, because you know, I feel like everybody says on rainy days like, oh, this is ugly, this and that, but there's always something to appreciate, right? Like somewhere else might find that beautiful. And I just feel like that's a testament to everything in life, right?
Yeah.
Like there is something beautiful in everything. You just have to find it and be open-minded and see the other perspectives. Like, you know, what you might find ugly, another person might find beautiful. So can we really call it ugly? Like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of always stuck by that in my life because it really helped me understand that, you know, just because it might not be for one person doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it less valuable.
Right.
None of that.
Yeah.
I love rain. I just don't like lightning.
Well, but that's part of the storm, though. That's part of the storm.
No, but
The thunder.
if y'all ever went on YouTube and saw that man get hit by lightning 3 times, you wouldn't like it either.
Yeah, I saw
He
that.
got up.
3
Did I send it to you?
Yeah, I saw that.
He literally got struck, and then he was like dazed. He got up and got struck again, and then he was dazed.
He lived?
Yes,
Yeah, he lived.
but the fact that you know God is talking if He hits you with lightning.
Oh, yeah. He literally struck him down.
I mean, 3 times. I mean, that's just like, what are you being told? So I was always like, when I was a really bad kid, so I was like, I don't want to go outside when it's lightning because God's probably going to try to talk to me. Like, I'm going to be the one. He's going to reach down out the sky and hit.
I had never been scared of lightning, and then like 2-3 weeks ago I went to South
I'm
Carolina
talking to you for a
and it
second.
struck right near me.
Yeah, and
That
that's
scared me.
lightning has hit our house as a kid, and so it's the loudest, scariest thing that you can see because it's like a thunderbolt coming out the sky, you know, like.
That's true.
and
Quite
you're-
literally.
Yeah,
And
and
it's electricity coming out the sky.
and that's like, what did they say? Like tens of thousands of voltage. Like
Yeah, all that
you're
one
not
time.
even supposed to be able to handle.
Right.
But this man got struck 3 times.
3.
3 and live.
I wonder what the Lord was trying to tell him, because he had a message to get across. 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that's a word though. He did speak 3 times. That's
3 times. And spared him. Because some people don't live after
that first
After the
one.
first one,
Yeah.
take them out of here.
Yeah, squirrels, all that die on. Like imagine like even what is that? Power lines.
Yep.
And I know there's more voltage coming out the sky than on those power lines.
Right.
Way
Mhm.
more.
Man.
So what storm have you ever faced where you felt like you grew the most from?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like I've faced a lot of storms consistently growing up, and then, but I feel like all of those in combination. I can't like pinpoint one. You know, there's a lot of things that really helped me grow. I think that these past few months, you know, what inspired that song when I released it and everything, I think that was the storm that probably really helped me grow the most because I started to reflect on myself and on my life and on all the things that mattered. And I've come out in a way better place, doing very great things, very happy. And now I'm just on this road to just continuing to try to grow as a person and get what I want because I know what I want and I'm going for it. And I'm not slowing down.
That's amazing.
That is.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your tolerance for emotional pain? It takes a minute for you to reach your breaking point.
Yes.
So you're the one that gives like 8 million chances.
Sometimes.
Okay.
So here's the thing, like, I can handle a lot of emotional pain, right? But am I going to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just because I can doesn't mean I'm going to. Because I have handled a lot of emotional pain, I know that I don't need to anymore, and I'm not going to because I'd rather be happy, you know? So
Yeah.
that's like where you were talking about, Nikki, where you said, you know, what's your point where you're like done with the person, you know? That's where I'm at now. I'm learning that limit. How much am I going to take from somebody? Because some things are just flaws about people, you know? Other things are more than just flaws. That it's not something that you can just be like, oh, I'm going to accept this.
It's innately them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's certain things you can't just accept and learn how to work around. There's some things that you're just like, this is you, and this is not good for me in my life. I need to go. You know?
Right. Yeah. That's the hardest part, though.
Letting go.
Hey, there's power in the word no.
Yeah, there is.
Two
There
letters.
is.
There's power in that.
But I'm one of those
You know.
people. It's hard. Like
It's hard to say no.
I'm a people pleaser, and I want to make people happy, and so I even sacrifice my own happiness for other people's happiness.
Yeah.
And
I'm
it's
trying to unlearn that.
yeah, and it's hard because when you love people genuinely, when you just have a giving spirit, it's very hard to like take that back and be like, I'm not gonna give to you anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I feel you on that.
You know, there's some people that I've experienced that with because I'm very much the same, but I'm learning that I can't do that anymore.
You're lucky
all the
that you're
time.
learning it so young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying.
know.
But, you know,
Say no. Just say no.
yeah, and also, like, it gets to a point where it's just like, okay, I did what I could. I spoke into you what I needed. What you want to do with that, that's on you.
Man.
Right.
You better.
If you
man.
if you want to listen, you'll listen, and if you don't, that's not
Hey,
up to me. That's
You
not
figure it out along the way.
Exactly.
You
I
figure it out.
tried.
Yeah.
I tried, but I'm not God.
And that's family included.
That's
Family
true. You
Yep.
should learn from that.
I have learned from that.
And I think that's why I'm such an introvert because I give so much of myself. So when I finally get in my house, I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
You know
absolutely.
what I've started doing? Because, you know, I give a lot, but I'm starting to be like, okay, just because I give a lot doesn't mean you can expect. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Hey.
They feel
You know what I'm
entitled.
saying?
They feel entitled.
Like,
That is
I,
so
do
true.
I gave a lot, but I'm learning now, like, as soon as you let somebody think that, you know, you all of a sudden owe it to them all the
Right.
time,
People feel
Nah,
entitled.
they're gonna
This
keep
ain't
doing
that.
Right, they
This
feel
ain't that.
entitled.
so I
Yeah.
can't
Don't
do
do
that
that.
anymore. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to get really good about that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Look,
You was under grace, okay? You was under grace.
if they're...
No, that's real talk. You was under grace. Now I'm taking that grace away.
Yeah.
You on your own.
If there's one
Straight up.
thing that I've learned from my mentor, Quest, he kind of taught me the value of time. And I'm glad I've learned that as young as I am because I don't got it to waste now.
That's the most important. I tell this to y'all that I tell, especially him, I tell this to him all the time. It's like, time is the most valuable thing that you have.
Yeah.
It's the most valuable thing because it's one thing that you waste every day, but you don't get back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. And what am I doing if I'm wasting it? For what?
Right.
On people that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Or things that don't deserve it.
Right.
You know, we have somebody that's wasting our time every day. You know, even though we don't allow him in our life, he still tries to waste it through other people. And at some point, you know, we have to, I said this earlier today to myself, like, there has to be a way where I cut him off from even the mental time that he's taking. You know, because people can be succubuses. Like, they come in your life and they suck everything out of you, every inch of life out of you. And guess what? It's still not enough.
Yeah.
You can give them everything and it still won't be enough. And so I'm glad you're learning it early because, you know, I'm a lot older and it's hard. It's a hard habit to break.
Yeah. Honestly, if I could give advice to people my age, is to listen when people tell you stuff. Like, I've been blessed. One thing that I've noticed is that God keeps putting people in my life to tell me things before the storm. Or like, and it's not even necessarily direct, but there's little lessons or little things that I catch people saying to me before I need to hear it. And I'm like, let me really think on that. And that has been like such a big part in me, you know, learning how to move correctly and, you know, just do things the best way that I can in my life because I'm genuinely listening and trying to understand what people are saying. I might not get it right away, but I might still ask you because I still want to hear it because I don't get it right now, but I know that I need to hear it.
But see, that's actually a value in your personality because some people just don't want to hear it regardless.
Yeah.
You know, and Jay always is like, just let them learn, Nikki. Just let them learn the hard way. But it's like, do you know how much time you could save if you try not to learn it the hard way?
Right.
You know, there's a lot of things that I go through, that Jay goes through, that Keys goes through. And I say this to them too. It's like, sometimes it's not for us. Even though we may go through the trial, it's so you can help the next person. Like, it might be for you. It might be so I can speak life into you and you don't have to go through it. You know, and if we can all just, like, I guess, turn down our egos and our pride and just take advice sometimes.
If you look on the side of my neck, I have a little tattoo, and it means to kill your ego.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
And it's
because
okay.
You miss so much when you don't. It's good to still have some ego, but
I'll admit I do have an ego problem, and I have a pride problem.
everybody does.
Yeah.
Everybody does to an extent.
Mine's a little smaller than Jay's. Like, I don't. But, you know, there's a lot of things, like, when I look back on my childhood, I'm like, man, my mom was right.
Yeah.
You know, she was so right. Like, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I wouldn't be going through that right now if I would have just, and she told me this 20 years ago, and if I learned it then 20 years ago, I probably still wouldn't be trying to learn it today.
Right. That's where I'm at right now, where, like, I'm hearing people tell me things, you know. I've got some good people in my life speaking, you know, truths to me with wisdom, and I'm listening, and sometimes I might not get it right away, but that's where I'm at. I'm like, dang, wait, hold on. Let me put my pride to the side for a second and really think about this. Am I like this? Am I doing this? But you also have to be careful because there's another aspect of that where you think on that too hard. And now you think you have to change and fix everything about yourself. And that caused a lot of anxiety for me. That was one of the things that I started doing. So it's finding that balance. Everything in life is balance, in my opinion.
What you got, Keys? I know you've been quiet over there.
No, this is cool. I like
the way
this.
people say it. Because I'm okay with criticism, but it's the way you say it. Sometimes your tone isn't right, and I'm like, I'm not going to take this the right way no matter.
Yeah.
And unless you change all of that, unless you repackage that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
There you go.
We're going to have some problems, you know?
Yeah, there's, I try to calm down sometimes before, because sometimes I'm like, did this person really just come at me like this? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if they know me, I usually say it before I think about it, because usually as soon as somebody says it, I'm going off.
Yeah, no doubt.
I go quiet. I have to go quiet because
No, that's true.
I can't.
That's true. Yeah.
If I go off, like, I don't want to go off, so I just go quiet.
I go rage. I
guess
people need that.
Here's another question. How do you do with self-control?
Depends. Sometimes people just get you on the right day.
It's the way it's packaged sometimes. It's the way they package things.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I already know I battle.
You gotta get that aggression out.
I really do battle with anger.
Me too.
Because I have very little patience for stupidity. I have very little patience for drama. And so if you come to me a certain way, I deserve, I'm above that. I'm like, I deserve to be spoken to better than that. I deserve to be treated better than that. Like, I know my value.
But in some sense, good for you, because, like, for me, I want to say stuff, and sometimes
And you
I
don't.
should,
And
but
you
instead I'm like, I'm gonna just be mad inside, like internally. But then there's some people who just know how to do it right, and they will just send me to this point where I'm like, I'm so mad. Like I know I need to step away because I'm gonna go off. Like
So you give yourself an opportunity to step away. I gotta
try.
learn that.
I try. I try.
Yeah.
It's all a process.
No, like it is hard. But
It's
you
a-
do, it is hard. It is hard, but sometimes you do just have to step away.
It's being conscious and aware
Yeah.
and trying to slow down.
Cause I'm gonna just be honest with you all. You all don't ever want to see my bad side.
Y'all
Jay has seen it before. He's seen it before.
Yeah, y'all have only seen a portion of mine.
Everybody. Listen.
Like, cause I'm kicking and screaming when I get off the phone with y'all, and I've already went off. I'm still kicking and screaming and throwing stuff, and been like, they think they.
Same.
Everybody
I feel
has a
it.
dark side. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
It's just
Everybody.
a matter of containing that person.
Yeah, cause when he makes me mad, I'm sitting here like, when I see him, I'm gonna stab him in the eye with a screwdriver. I promise.
I'll be feeling the same, but I'll be containing mine. I'm like you.
Look,
Contain it.
there's somebody that I worked with who just always says something. Always. And I had to really learn, like, not to say anything. And they'll come up to me and they'll be like, they're older than me, so they'll be like, you're immature. You're not responding to me because you don't know what to say, like this and that. Just really immature. And, like, I've just learned that I just don't have to respond. And he, like, always, you know,
Got
gives
madder
me,
because you didn't
yeah,
say that.
he gives me, like, crap for it. But
He
I
like you.
told him.
He like you.
Oh yeah, they said that I look like his ex, so
Yeah, he
that,
like you.
So I think that's why
Or
he
maybe
did
he's
that.
just taking it out on you, you know, like
Well,
somebody that looks similar.
he thinks-
No, like some people do that. They
That-
do.
No,
Yeah.
that was Keys that said that.
Yeah,
I
Very
mean-
insightful.
No, but
That was very
sometimes because
insightful.
they didn't, like, if they didn't get the last word or get to say what they wanted to say at a breakup,
Oh,
here
yeah.
you are looking just like her, and he's
Yeah.
just like, you know, just unleashing all those feelings.
I just, you know, dealing with that person, I really like learned to not respond to people because I talk a lot, as you can see, and you know I respond a lot, but I'm learning to react less. So sometimes when he does it, I just don't say anything. He's like, "Oh, I know you're mad. I know you're mad." No, I just don't have to give you this energy. You gotta protect your energy. I don't have to give it to you.
Yeah.
It's not free. It is not free.
Oh, I gotta stop giving you my energy.
No, that's your power.
Because you be
Don't-
making me so mad.
Don't give away your power.
Listen,
On
this dude here.
on most days,
Tell us don't give
on
away
most
your
days, you know, we're
you're
like,
not
we work
supposed to.
really well together, and on other days, we're like fire and gas. Once you
Yeah.
put, it's gonna ignite and it's gonna explode.
What's your guys' signs?
I'm a
Aries.
Taurus.
I'm Aries.
Taurus, Aries.
Gemini.
Two horned animals.
I don't know much. Actually, you know, I was best friends with the Aries female. I
Okay.
like Tauruses. I'm a Cancer.
Okay.
I don't. You said you were what?
Gemini.
Gemini. I don't know a ton about Gemini. I don't know
They're-
how I interact with
They're
Geminis.
two-faced.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
are.
wouldn't say two.
No, like in a way that like they have two different sides to them, a really good side and a really bad side.
That's what I
Tauruses,
said.
we're very giving, we're loving, we'll give you everything we want, but we're stubborn. We're stubborn as all get out.
Yeah.
Because you guys are like a bull.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're right. They're bulls. We're rams.
And I'm
Oh,
very headstrong
That
already.
makes sense.
Same with Aries. So,
And I'm-
yeah, you get the headbutt action going.
Right.
And I'm a super alpha female. Like I am.
I love it.
I'm
I
like
love it.
And I'm an alpha male.
I come to regulate.
You met your match.
Right. And there's, right. It's just certain things I ain't gonna tolerate. I ain't gonna tolerate.
I don't tolerate ish from this man. You hear me?
Hey, I like that energy. I like that. energy.
None.
But listen,
None.
right? She got a set way of doing stuff, and I got a set way
Yeah.
of doing something. And I just want
As
to do
y'all
what I
should.
want to do.
But at the end of the day, I run this.
Hey.
We run this.
I run this. I tell you, this is what we gonna do.
We gonna.
Hey, I just like seeing strong females.
Yeah,
love seeing
I don't
strong
put up with
females.
much.
No, I love it because I'm trying to develop into that more and more as I grow.
Yeah.
So I love that energy a lot.
When I was your age, it was hard for me even making eye contact with people. I was super, super shy. And like people would tell me off all the time, but I was like you, in the inside I wanted to fight. I fought a lot in high school. I was suspended. But as I got out of high school and you know, you're on your own, you don't have a clique anymore. You're just out there, you know, fending for yourself. I became really introverted and very shy, and so people would talk to me crazy, and I just put my head down and walk off and not say anything. And I remember my ex-husband said, how much longer are you gonna let people walk all over you?
Like,
And
that's just the way
I
it
don't
is.
know
You're not
what-
going to be able to change that. People want to change that all the time.
And it doesn't mean we're not being cordial. It doesn't
Right.
mean that if I see you, I'm not gonna say, "Hey, what's up? How are you?"
Oh,
It just
sometimes
means
I
that
don't.
I don't want you to have my phone number. I don't want you
Yeah.
DMing me on Instagram.
Right.
It just means that we're just one of them high and by people, and that's okay.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even give them that. Like, hey,
Well, you know, we weren't in a small circle being in the music stuff, so
Yeah, yeah.
like there's some people I speak to, but I don't mess with you at all.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I'm just gonna speak and I keep moving. I'm gonna keep walking while I'm saying hi.
Right.
hey,
Hey,
yo.
girl. Hey,
See,
girl.
I'm learning that stuff too.
Are you?
Yeah, just all of it's like putting it into practice. Like I said, there's some things that you learn and like you know in your head, but you got to put it into practice, right?
So how is it working with males and females in the industry?
I work with a lot of males, a lot of male energy.
Okay.
It's easier.
Yes.
It's easier.
In some senses. In some senses, you know, men sometimes they can be very alpha, and it's just like
And they can be catty too, but it's a lot
it's
less.
different. Like I feel like sometimes you can walk into a room with a girl, and there's some type of preconceived energy,
Yeah.
or like ideas, whatever it is, or it has to be competition. It doesn't always have to be competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
unfortunately, I haven't met a ton of like female engineers or anything like that yet. But as far as working with the guys, like they're dope. I learned a lot from my mentor and the people around me who do help me out when I have questions or because I'm always practicing. But I've always been used to really like to male energy because I've always had guy friends. So I'm kind of used to it. I could be a pretty like alpha woman. I definitely can. But sometimes I also have that little like sweet energy that I just don't really want to. But the way I want to be as an engineer, right, and as an artist is I want to be very very strong in what I believe and strong in what I say. I want to know what I'm saying and I want to say it. And
you have to be assertive being a female in this
yeah.
industry.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because I was talking to someone the other day just about like engineering stuff, and he was like, "Oh, so you know your stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, like yeah." I don't know what made you think I don't. I said I was an engineer, right?
Right, absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't say something like that if it was a dude saying it, would you? Like, and I don't think they meant it that way. By
he
any
meant
means.
it. He meant it that way.
You have to.
I think it's subconscious. I think it's a subconscious thing.
Yeah.
The one thing I learned, like, I'm with all these guys, there's just me and four gentlemen. And even when I go into clubs, it's always, the promoters are men,
Yeah.
Even the hosts are usually men. And so I'm always having to make myself bigger than life.
Yeah.
I'm the loudest person in the room. I'm the most outgoing person in the room.
You gotta
And
go that extra
we have to work so
Yeah.
much harder to be noticed.
Yep.
Not noticed sexually, because they just see a body and a face and like, oh, she's cute or whatever. But it's like to be noticed for like your resume.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just give y'all a little man secret. We don't take y'all seriously.
No, we already know that.
Yeah, we knew that. That wasn't a secret.
That was not a secret. That's why I said we have to, and that's why that statement was said where we have to work harder. We have to be bigger. We have to be bigger than life all the time. We almost have to stomp our feet just to be heard.
Yeah.
And that's why I put as much work into engineering as I do right now, and that's why I'm trying really hard to, speed up my process, because I've really only technically been engineering since June.
Okay.
But I'm good at it.
Okay.
I'm good at it.
That's what's
14.
up.
I got a good year.
That's what's up.
And I'm really working hard because I know where I want my place to be in that field, And there's one thing that Joe always says to me. He always tells me to take my seat. That we all have a seat.
Yeah.
We need to take it.
Yeah.
I know what my seat is. I don't want to just be, someone who, just engineers. Some people go to them. No, I want y'all to know who I am.
But he said the key word, which is take.
Yeah.
You can't wait for it. Like men, things are given to them in certain industries, especially this one. You actually have to go in, grab that chair from underneath somebody and be like, it's mine.
Exactly. And that's why I put in the work. Because if I'm getting home every day after work and I'm spending my entire time mixing or sitting in on sessions, the only reason why I really feel like I'm engineering right now is because when I had gotten the job at Stone Tree, I knew that I wanted to do music. I didn't know what that looked like or how, so I asked if I could sit in on sessions all the time with
Yeah.
Quest.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything. I just watched and sat. If I wouldn't have done that, I don't think this would have developed the way that it did. I just knew what I wanted to do. So, you know, if I'm going home and putting all my hours into this, or you know, whatever it may be, versus somebody who's just learning as they go because they can get that opportunity, who's going to be better? Because titles are cool. Titles are cool, but skill is cooler. And I know that I want to be good at this, and I want to be known because I'm good at this.
Absolutely.
And that takes work, and I'm okay with that. It's part of the journey, and I actually really enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Just do one.
So
You can do anything. Just do one.
Absolutely. Hey, it's just a part of your road to greatness. That's all.
indeed, indeed.
You just gotta continue on that road. Keep putting in the work. You know, that's how you do it.
For sure.
We got about, we're going to go about 12 more minutes, but we're going to take a quick music break. We're going to play a song, get some water, get some juices on the voice.
Okay. All right.
What
Juices
you
on the voice. What?
what you got for us, Keys? You got a
Man.
song for us we can play real
We
quick?
got that game winner by Javante Marquise.
All right, let's run it.
Before the end.
You know, but then that are in the industry that's trying to break in areas where it's really hard. You know, I know being an engineer is hard, being a woman, being a DJ, being a producer, all those things, it's hard to get credit for. So, coming out of Indy, you'll be the first one.
Hey,
Hey,
there you go. There
I'm
you
working
go.
for it. I'm working for it.
You know, can we touch on this one thing though? We got about, we got some minutes.
Okay.
But there's this thing that you're waiting to get news from.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is actually big.
There's this thing that you're waiting to get news from.
It's actually really big.
So, even if they never call back, you're ours.
Hey.
You want to touch on it a little bit?
Yeah. So I recently tried out for American Idol. I'm waiting. You know, when I was younger, I tried out for The Voice once. I tried out for America's Got Talent. But you know, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. And then I happened to work that day, and I woke up late. And my boss told me to stay home, and it was an hour before the audition, so I was like, this lined up too right. And one thing that I've noticed in my journey with music is that everything lines up. So I was like, I can't not. So I tried out. It's been this is the third week. They told me it would take 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm hoping to hear this week. We'll see how it goes. I'm happy either way. I'm glad that I did it.
Right.
Just stepping out of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's the point of not taking an opportunity?
Right.
You only hinder yourself. I'm not hindering American Idol by not going,
Exactly.
you know.
And it's
There you
not
go.
stopping your dreams either way.
Exactly.
You know?
Man.
And that's
Exactly.
that's something I was nervous about. I was nervous that, you know, if I did American Idol and, you know, did get through, that I was going to be distracted from engineering. But I can do both, you know. I don't have to. That's that anxiety, that doubt.
Right.
That
Yeah,
doubt.
that's doubt. Yeah.
And you know, you have to have your shares of no's before the yeses come.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you've
No,
had your
oh,
share
yeah,
of
of
no's,
course.
you know?
Of course.
So, hey, what's one more no?
Exactly.
Right.
One more no just pushes me to work harder.
Exactly. And these shows have, you know, rejected multiple people who ended up being big time anyway.
Exactly.
So it's not something that I'm going to let hold me down.
Right.
If it doesn't happen, you know, if it does happen, you know, whether it does or not, I'm glad I did it. I enjoyed it. It was an experience. Something that I needed to get better at, being more confident, you know, performing in front of people and, you know, doing auditions. So I'm glad I did it. I gained rather than lose
Right.
from doing that.
Right.
With everything. That's with everything.
That's a good way to look at it too. That's a
Yeah.
great way to look at it.
It's just another thing under your belt. Like, I challenged myself. I did it.
That's how you maximize opportunity.
There you go.
Well, I know, you know, we're coming towards the end. We got our last 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
Do you have any shout outs? I want you to give your social media as well so they can follow you.
Yeah. My social media is Bri.Lindeman, Bri.Lindeman on Instagram. I want to shout out Quest R&B on Instagram. That's my mentor.
All right. All right. Shout out, Quest.
Got another mentor named Philosopher Beats.
Okay.
Okay.
Crazy good producer. I'm working with him right now. We're gonna have some really good stuff coming. The song that I'm hopefully putting out soon. I've got a real message out there in that song that I really want to get across that I think a lot of people can really relate to or stand on, and I want it to unify.
Okay.
So shout out to Philosopher. I believe he's Philoso Beats on Instagram. With
Okay.
a Z. With a Z.
Okay.
But yeah, just, shout out to everybody in this journey who's supporting me. Even the people on my social medias who, every step of the way, I'm proud of you. Keep
Right.
working.
Absolutely.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Absolutely.
I'm very grateful for that. It might not be giant, but it's there.
Absolutely.
And I'm really, really grateful for that. It already feels like the feeling of having people who support you already, even though you're not big, already makes me feel like I'm big.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Oh, yeah,
support
for
those
sure.
people a lot,
100%.
and I love them. So
Yes,
shout out to y'all.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
And Trey Dope checked in again.
Hey, Trey Dope.
Trey.
Trey Dope.
Can we
Brother.
talk about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yo, Trey Dope and I got a sick song coming out. All right.
I've heard it.
It's giving R&B. It's giving. It's really good.
I haven't heard it yet.
I heard it.
I gotta hear it.
You have that gospel feel in your voice when you're singing. You know?
Right.
It's really good. It's
All right,
really
cool,
good.
cool.
I'm waiting for that one. I was hoping that we would get that.
I'm pretty sure it
Yeah.
comes out September 15th.
Okay.
Trey
Just
Dope
a couple more
featuring
days.
Bri Lindeman.
Couple more days.
Yeah.
He said, "What up? Hey Trey, we need that song with Bri. We need it.
Right.
Send it on through.
Yes,
Send it.
yes.
You already
Let's
know
run
the
it
email.
up.
Go ahead, send it on through.
If y'all want to hear a snippet of that song, it's actually on his Instagram.
Yep.
What's his Instagram? Trey.dope?
Yep.
Yeah,
Trey
yeah.
Dope.
I got you, Trey. Yeah, if y'all want to hear a snippet of that, it's Trey.dope on Instagram, and it'll be out, I believe, on the 15th. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and y'all make sure y'all go run up holding me back.
Yeah, run it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. Run that up.
Yes,
Run
that up.
those numbers
Run it
out.
up.
You know.
All platforms.
You know.
We're coming.
And support your independent artists. I know everybody loves this mainstream stuff. I know
Yeah.
Drake just came out with his album. Kanye's been doing back-to-back listening parties. But we are missing out on so much talent when we're not pushing these independent artists.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Indie is the new mainstream.
It really is.
It is.
Mhm.
It really is.
And actually, they better than
New
some.
slogan for Underground Hitters. We put on for the indie, indie puts on for the city.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
We
already
do.
know what it is. Yeah.
I don't want to forget Indy. If I end up leaving this place, I don't want to forget it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Roots.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Well, with all that being said, you all can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DJ Key Product, and go like me on Facebook, DJ Key Product.
And you can follow me on Instagram at I am Nikki Lynn. And also make sure you follow that Underground Hitters Instagram page as well.
Instagram at J the Diplomat, Facebook Jagway.
And give us yours one more time, Bri.
BRI.LINDEMAN on Instagram, Bri.Lindeman.
And go run up her single, holding me back, guys.
Yes, indeed.
Cool. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Man, thank you for coming out.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for
for
sitting with
having
us.
me.
Yes, indeed. This was epic.
We got to do it again.
No doubt.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure,
I'm
for
here.
sure.
No doubt.
Shout out Moolah.
Shout out Moolah and Wiz.
And Wiz.
Man, y'all missed it.
Yeah.
And we ain't going to run it back for y'all.
Yep.
Y'all was trying to hold me back.
Tuh.
With all that being said, I'm your girl, Nikki Lynn.
I am DJ Key Product.
I'm Jagway.
I'm Bri.
And we are out.
You got the hottest radio station playing on your stereo right now. For all the latest and exclusive content, hit that undergroundhitters.com. That's undergroundhitters.com. We got it all for the low, homie.